about doing it, and now is the time. It's going to happen. I won't let laziness take me over. There'll be no distractions. I'm going to do this. What am I rambling about, you ask? I will warn you now, it's pretty intense. It might change your life forever. It's super exciting, and it takes a lot of guts to do it. This kid is such a jerk, you say. Why can't he just tell me what it is? Well, I don't know if you can handle the truth. It might just be better if I say that I'm going into space or battling dragons with toothpicks. Relatively, though, that stuff is pretty easy compared to what I'm doing. Okay, that's enough. You guys asked for it, so I'm going to tell you. Don't say I didn't warn you. This is heavy stuff, and it might end up being life-changing. Short story. That's right, I'm writing a short story. I know what you're thinking right now. Man, this guy is extreme to the max. He is totally my new role model. I'm actually quite surprised no one here is deaf right now. Normally, the shock of hearing about such a daring act puts people way over the edge, and either kills them instantly or makes them delusional and insane. I have to hand it to you. You're as tough as me. About 2 days ago, I told some random guy about it just to see the effect. He started grabbing wads of dirt from the ground and stuffing it in his ears, all while yelling, "If I can't hear it, it's not real. It's not real. I can't hear it." You must think I'm crazy talking about stories like this. Is it tell the truth? Maybe I am. Short stories are seriously dangerous, and I must be crazy to feel safe writing them. Some of you brave souls out there might want to know how I go about conquering the beast we call a short story. Well, first, it requires a few attributes that not many of us have. First, you need to be very intelligent, pretty much a genius. The short story will try and trick you into thinking you're writing a great novel. One day you'll look at it, and it will be an intriguing psychological thriller, and the next, you'll find that it's a ridiculous mashup about a donkey and pet elephant, with poor spelling and bad sentence structure. You also need to be strong. I'm not talking about, oh, I have a six-pack strong. I'm talking about Hulk-sized muscles there. But you don't know its true power until you encounter writing a short story. You see, the writer's block is a real object. It hides in the shadows of your house, always just out of sight, waiting for you to be at a vulnerable point in your story. Once it sees you stall or think about a word for just a few seconds, it leaps out and beats the bejesus out of you. That's why you have to be strong. You have to be able to fight. You have to be able to fight back. Because the writer's block won't stop until you start wondering if it works. Before you start this vicious journey, make sure you have the willpower like no other person you know. Take the willpower of a crazed workaholic and multiply it by 10. That might give you half the willpower you're going to need to complete this job. Only a few people know this, but short stories hate to be written. While you write them, they emit a strange frequency in your brain. This frequency continuously tells your brain to turn away and stop writing a short story. It will make everything seem appealing to you, even that paperclip on the other side of the room. Don't get distracted. Before you know it, you will have been playing with that paperclip for 20 minutes. Once you start writing short stories, you start to realize that there are more evil beasts than just the short story itself, and the writer's block. I'm sure you have come into contact with at least one of them. It's called the procrastinatalist. The procrastinatalist is a microscopic parasite that floats about in the air around us. They enter your mind and feed on the motivation that resides in there. This makes everything besides what you're doing, what you need to get done, seem entertaining. I've seen great geniuses reduced to living in boxes by this evil parasite. For some reason, short stories are often swarming with this vicious little bug. This makes it nearly impossible to ever get started on a short story. You might be asking, why does he do it? Why does he write short stories when there are plenty of other things he can do that aren't nearly as dangerous? Well, somebody's got to do it. Someone has to break the evil that waits you behind that pencil tip or keyboard. Technically, I'm a hero. You think Superman has it hard? All he has to do is beat up villains and stop trains. Have you ever seen Superman battle with a short story? No? That's what I thought. He must have covered it up. It's probably not so good for his fame. I saw it once. He must have, probably not so good for his fame. I saw it once. It was just after running with Kryptonite Man. Somehow he managed to beat him, and he must have thought that this was good ground for writing short stories. Boy, was he wrong. First he picked up the pencil and headed to the paper, just thinking that the words would flow right on out. He sat there for 5 minutes thinking. Then he made the biggest mistake of his life. He twirled the pencil in his fingers, showing that he had started thinking about other things. Before he knew it, the cinder block-sized fist of writer's block had reconfigured his state and sent him flying across the room. When he got up, Superman planned to use his laser vision against writer's block, but the procrastinatalist had already started kryptonite's my only weakness, my ass. And I'll say it again. Short stories are difficult to conquer and very easy. Unless you have the passion, the willpower to back that passion, writing a good short story will be nearly impossible for you. For those of you out there who think all of this is rubbish and still want to write a short story, go ahead. I can't stop you. But when the procrastinators are boring holes in your mind and a writer's block is sending you headfirst through a wall, then don't say I didn't warn you.